Scared? After Jiayin's arrest, the founder of Country Garden hurriedly sells his plane to pay off debts. Country Garden has finally taken the alarming step of defaulting on its debt obligations. The transfer of 600 million yuan by a state-owned enterprise to a young woman has sparked heated discussions. Is Nanhai safe? The frequent departures of Xi Jinping from Beijing have drawn a lot of attention. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Scared? After Jiayin's arrest, the founder of Country Garden hurriedly sells his plane to pay off debts. In the realm of Chinese real estate, turbulent times have arrived, marked by a series of high-profile defaults on debts, led by the beleaguered Evergrande Group. Not long after the recent detention of Jiayin, the head of Evergrande, another prominent real estate figure, Yang Guoqiang, the founder of Country Garden, hastily sold his private jet to settle his debts. This revelation came directly from Country Garden's CEO, Mo Bin, during an announcement made on October 9. Yet, the precise amount fetched from the jet's sale remains undisclosed. It's worth noting that Yang Guoqiang possesses roughly 4 business jets. Last year, he attempted to sell a substantial aircraft, but it languished on the market for more than a year. Another jet is co-owned by 4 individuals, and just 3 months ago, Yang Guoqiang offered his 0.25 share for sale, though the exact sum it fetched remains unknown. Mo Bin also shed light on his own financial journey in recent years. While he indeed amassed significant wealth, he allocated 60% of it toward acquiring Country Garden stocks and bonds. As of now, the company's management has seen their annual salaries reduced to the bare minimum, with Mo Bin revealing that he personally earns a mere 3 million annually. In a retrospective glance, reports from 2020 indicate that Mo Bin and Xia Haijun, the former vice chairman of Evergrande Group, held the titles of the highest-paid individuals within the real estate industry. Mo Bin, during that year, raked in a staggering 133 million, while Xia Haijun amassed an even more substantial 200 million. The following year, Xia Haijun's Evergrande faced a crisis, while Mo Bin earned 190 million at Country Garden. Country Garden has finally taken the alarming step of defaulting on its debt obligations. In the context of his boss having to swiftly sell the airplane to settle debts, Country Garden, entangled in a severe liquidity crisis, has taken the alarming step of defaulting on its debt obligations. After months of uncertainty, on October 10, Country Garden officially declared, through a statement on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, that it would be unable to repay the maturing 470 million Hong Kong dollars, about $60.08 million, loan on time. In a worrisome disclosure, the company further acknowledged that it did not anticipate being able to fulfill its scheduled overseas debt payments or meet the associated grace period. This obligation encompasses various repayments, most notably the US dollar bonds the company had previously issued. The failure to pay these outstanding sums could potentially trigger accelerated debt collection or legal action by concerned creditors. Country Garden made it known that it was actively working on strategies for managing its overseas debt and formulating comprehensive solutions. The aftermath of these revelations had a substantial impact on Country Garden's financial standing, as its stock price plummeted by nearly 11% on the very same day. Simultaneously, Hong Kong King Board Group, a key player in this scenario, issued a debt repayment notice, asserting that Country Garden had breached their agreement by failing to meet its financial obligations, thereby demanding the repayment of approximately 1.6 billion Hong Kong dollars, about $204.53 million, in outstanding loans. King Board Group is presently assessing the potential impact of the outstanding payments mentioned and anticipates the likelihood of incurring impairment losses. These losses are expected to manifest in the company's financial statements for the fiscal year ending on December 31, 2023. Country Garden has been grappling with challenges in meeting various domestic and international debt obligations since August this year. In response, they engaged in urgent negotiations with domestic creditors, leading to the extension of 9 domestic bonds set to mature, amounting to a total principal of approximately 14.7 billion yuan, about $2.013 billion. Nevertheless, a significant number of overseas bonds remain in arrears, struggling to meet their interest payments within the 30-day grace period. Of particular concern is one bond whose grace period is set to expire on October 17. Failure to make timely payments at this juncture could trigger a major crisis for Country Garden, as it would prompt other overseas creditors to demand accelerated repayment of their debts. In a recent communication, Country Garden acknowledged its financial challenges, revealing that it achieved equity sales of approximately 154.98 billion yuan, about $21.223 billion, in the first 9 months of 2023. This represents a stark 43.9% decrease compared to the same period the previous year and a substantial 65.4% decline compared to 2021. Country Garden, however, asserts its commitment to ensuring the completion of its ongoing building projects. As of September 30th, Country Garden faced the daunting task of delivering around 420,000 houses by year-end. According to a report from the Chinese media outlet Financial Associated Press, Country Garden currently has 15 outstanding US dollar bonds, with a combined value exceeding $9.5 billion US dollars. Of these bonds, 2 are set to mature on January 27 and April 8, 2024, amounting to roughly $1.5 billion US dollars. The Voice of America has commented on the situation, emphasizing that Country Garden's predicament underscores the gravity of the liquidity crisis in China's real estate sector. This industry holds significant weight in China's economy, contributing up to a quarter of the country's GDP. Prolonged weakness in home sales has a direct and far-reaching impact on the fortunes of real estate developers like Country Garden. The transfer of 600 million yuan by a state-owned enterprise to a young woman has sparked heated discussions. Prominent Chinese anti-counterfeiting expert Wang Hai recently brought a matter of public concern to light via his official Weibo account. The issue involves a substantial fund transfer of nearly 600 million yuan from a state-owned enterprise to the private bank account of a young woman, who presently serves as a deputy in the Bailin District People's Congress in Jiayin. This revelation has ignited fervent discussions among online communities. Wang Hai's revelation has raised questions among netizens who wonder why he was the one to unveil this apparent discrepancy within the supervision system. According to a report by Red Star News on October 9, Wang Hai stumbled upon this financial anomaly while assisting migrant workers in the disbursement of wages and project payments. It was discovered that the Qinghai Potash Fertilizer Project, operated by MCC Northwest Geotechnical Engineering Company, had directly transferred almost 600 million yuan into the personal bank account of a young woman named Huang. Interestingly, this woman now holds a position as a representative in the People's Congress of Jiayin Bailin District and is also a legal representative for Shaanxi Changjia Industrial Company. Wang Hai not only made his findings public but also reported the matter to the Discipline Inspection Commission of the Geotechnical Company. The report emphasized that the transfer of such a substantial sum to a private account by the Geotechnical Company could potentially lead to significant losses for state-owned assets. In response, a member of the Geotechnical Company's Discipline Inspection Commission stated, "We are aware of this situation and are addressing it under established regulations. If there are any further developments, we will communicate with the individual who reported the issue." As for the nearly 600 million yuan transfer, bank records have been obtained by the Jiayin Bailin District Taxation Bureau. Whether the National People's Congress deputies may be implicated in tax evasion is a matter that awaits determination by the taxation authorities. In January of this year, Northwest Geotechnical Company responded to Wang Hai's initial inquiry, stating that they had not discovered any concrete evidence of party members or cadres violating disciplinary regulations. Now, with Wang Hai's subsequent report, the company has officially announced the establishment of a joint working group for further verification. The scale of this significant financial transaction raises questions about why it wasn't subject to a thorough investigation when initially reported. Mainland Chinese netizens have even voiced their frustrations, suggesting that current laws seem to disproportionately burden ordinary individuals, subjecting them to extensive scrutiny when they deposit or withdraw modest sums, while seemingly turning a blind eye to substantial daily transactions of state-owned enterprises like the one in question. Others have called for a shift in priorities, advocating for a stronger focus on combating corruption rather than solely targeting counterfeiting. They expressed disbelief at the delayed revelation of such information, comparing it to past instances of officials keeping sensitive information concealed from the public. It's important to note that MCC Northwest Geotechnical Engineering Company is a state-owned enterprise, established in 1985 under the purview of the State-Owned Assets Supervision and Administration Commission of the State Council of China. The company is headquartered in Jiayin and boasts a registered capital of 50 million yuan, with an annual construction capacity of 800 million yuan. Their operations encompass a wide array of services, including geotechnical engineering surveys and hydrogeological surveys. Is Nanhai unsafe? The frequent departures of Xi Jinping from Beijing have drawn a lot of attention. In the past 3 months, Xi Jinping has been traveling strangely and frequently left Beijing. CCP-affiliated media outlets reported that on October 10, Xi Jinping conducted an inspection of the Jiayin City section of the Yangtze River National Cultural Park and visited the Sinopec Jiayin branch in Jiayin City, Jiangxi Province. The preceding day, Xi Jinping hosted a meeting with a congressional delegation led by U.S. Senate Majority Leader Schumer at the Beijing Great Hall. Remarkably, this marked the first visit to Beijing by a U.S. congressman since the year 2019. The unusual sequence of events, where Xi Jinping left Beijing immediately after he met with U.S. Congressman Schumer, subsequently appearing in Jiangxi for an official inspection, has triggered heightened curiosity among international observers. Information disclosed by party-controlled media sources reveals a notable increase in the frequency of Xi's departures from Beijing via special train over the past 3 months. In September alone, he departed the capital on 2 separate occasions. On September 7, Xi Jinping inspected Shangji City in Heilongjiang, and on September 8, he visited the 78th Group Army in Harbin. Later, from September 20 to 21, Xi Jinping once again left Beijing, journeying to Jinhua and Shaoxing in Zhejiang Province. On the 23rd of the month, Xi Jinping graced the opening ceremony of the Hangzhou Asian Games in the company of Kai Chi, Ding Xuexiang, Wang Yi, Wang Xiaohong, and other officials. The following day, on September 24, as Xi Jinping returned to Beijing, he visited Zhaozhuang City in Shandong Province. During this journey, he was accompanied by Wang Xiaohong, the Minister of Public Security of the CCP. Recent reports emerged in September regarding the prolonged absence of Li Shangfu, the Minister of Defense of the CCP. Notably, in August, Xi Jinping left Beijing on 2 separate occasions. On August 21, he embarked on a trip to South Africa to participate in the BRICS summit. Upon his return from South Africa on August 26, Xi Jinping did not head directly to Beijing but instead arrived in Urumqi, Xinjiang. Wang Xiaohong promptly journeyed to Xinjiang to accompany him. A few days later, he likely returned to Beijing via a special train. In early August, severe floods affected the region around Beijing, prompting Xi Jinping and members of the Politburo Standing Committee to seek refuge in Beidai for a vacation. During August, there was also a notable turnover in leadership within the rocket force, with several senior generals undergoing investigations. In July, incidents involving former CCP Foreign Minister Qin Gang and senior officials of the rocket force came to light, yet Xi Jinping still undertook 2 investigative trips during that month. In early July, Xi Jinping embarked on a visit to Jiangsu, spanning from the 5th to the 7th. Notably, on the 6th, during his inspection of the agencies belonging to the Eastern Theater Command, he emphasized the importance of addressing military matters from a political perspective and maintaining unwavering discipline and anti-corruption efforts. It was during this period that rumors began circulating about the removal of senior generals from the Rocket Army. Subsequently, on July 25, an official announcement was made regarding the removal of Qin Gang from his role as Minister of Foreign Affairs of the CCP. On the same day, Xi Jinping commenced a visit to Sichuan, culminating in an inspection of the Western Theater Air Force in Chengdu on July 26. On July 28, Xi Jinping graced the opening ceremony of the Chengdu Universiade. This event saw the presence of prominent figures, including Kai Chi, Ding Xuexiang, Wang Yi, Li Ganjia, He Lifeng, Wang Xiaohong, and others. Following this engagement, on July 29, Xi Jinping made a stop in Hangzhou City, Shaanxi Province, during his journey back to Beijing. It's noteworthy that when Xi Jinping travels outside of Beijing, he frequently opts for train travel over air travel, and official media reports regarding his movements are often delayed. Insights from credible sources indicate that Xi Jinping places belief in prophecies and harbors concerns about coup attempts and assassination plots, which explains his tendency to make unannounced and unpredictable trips. Notably, current affairs commentator Zhong Yuan, in a recent article for the Epoch Times, has highlighted a rather intriguing paradox. One might logically expect that Xi Jinping would reduce his travel and public appearances for security reasons. However, in the past 3 months, his movements have displayed an opposite trend, marked by frequent departures from Beijing. The most plausible explanation for this unusual pattern seems to be a concern held by Xi Jinping regarding the safety of Zhongnanhai. Intriguingly, the 46th image in the illustrated prophecy book Tui Bei Tu cryptically suggests that there is a golden sword hidden in the east door, and the warrior enters the imperial palace through the back door. This enigmatic statement appears to allude to the potential for coups and assassination attempts within Zhongnanhai, the central government complex. Furthermore, the prophecy included references to bows and arrows, which Xi Jinping interpreted as being linked to the Rocket Army. Consequently, he initiated a significant purge of the Rocket Army. Analysts posit that experts surrounding Xi Jinping may have drawn conclusions based on prophecies that Zhongnanhai represents an uncertain and unsafe location. Xi Jinping appears to share this belief, which could explain his avoidance of prolonged stays at Zhongnanhai. Consequently, if the individuals referred to as with a bow in the Tui Bei Tu have not been completely neutralized, Xi Jinping may continue to lead an itinerant lifestyle to maintain a low profile and avoid detection. Don't forget to leave a comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.